Welcome to Daily Armour. Today we're going to be in Deuteronomy chapter 11, looking at verse 22, still thinking about this, doing things His way, not my way, not your way, not somebody else's way, but doing things His way. And a couple of things in here that I want us to take note in this verse here, in verse number 22, and it says, "For if you shall diligently keep all these commandments, which I command you, to do them, to love the Lord your God, to walk in all His ways, and to cleave unto Him." Now, we've been talking about that we should fear the Lord, that we should walk with the Lord in all His ways, that we should love the Lord and we should serve the Lord. That was our devotion yesterday. And I want you to notice how He repeats this. And as He does, He repeats certain things over and over and over again. We can't say we didn't know. We can't say we weren't warned. And sometimes we need to be reminded. Sometimes we do forget, and we need to be reminded over and over and over again. It needs to be so embedded into our brain that our first response isn't to flee, isn't to run towards something that He wouldn't have for us, isn't to get mixed up with this or that, but He wants it so embedded in us that our first place to think and to go is to Him. Here in verse number 22, I want you to notice that word "if." There's a condition there. To do things His way, it is conditional. The only way you can do things His way is if you submit to Him. He's telling you He's got a plan. He's telling me that He's got a plan, that He knows what He's doing, that He's in charge. And my responsibility is to, if I do His way. And I noticed this word here, diligently. To be diligent, being diligent doesn't mean you have everything figured out. Being diligent about doing what the Lord wants us to do doesn't mean that you don't stumble or fall. Being diligent simply means that you know that failure is not final, that you know when you fall, get back up, go to Him, ask for forgiveness, and get back to work. Be diligent. Don't quit. Be determined. Set in your mind, this is what you're going to do. You know there's going to be obstacles. You know there's going to be things that are going to come up. But to be diligent means you're just going to keep at it. And you're going to keep at it. Keeping all these commandments, every one of them, every single detail. He knows what He's doing. He knows what He's doing in my life. He knows what He's doing in your life, which I command you. It's not what somebody else says to do. It's not what you tell yourself that you want to do. And believe you me, there's plenty of things that I would like to do. But the Lord has a different plan and a different way for me to do things. And so it goes back to what He says. To do them, that's an action word. That's to take action. That's to follow through. That's to step out in faith, not by sight, but by faith, to do those things that He said. Even if it doesn't make sense, even if you don't know how it's going to turn out, how it's going to work out, because you don't see all the details. I don't see all the details, but take that action and step out in faith. To love the Lord. This is how we show Him that we love Him. This is how we express our love for Him, is to actually take that step toward what He has said. To love the Lord, your God, that's personal, my God. That's also having that correct attitude about things. To walk in all His ways. There again, we're instructed to take action, to be willing to step out in faith, to walk by faith and not by sight, and doing what He said. Not a blind leap of faith in the dark. This is having a word from God and knowing this is what you're supposed to do. And as my husband is in the valley of decision, he's got, really 3 or 4 possibilities out there. He absolutely has no clue which one is the one, and he's waiting on a word from the Lord. And when he does get that word from the Lord, then he'll know where to walk. He'll know what to do. So it's not really so much of a blind leap in the dark. This is an instruction given of the Lord. And then to cleave unto Him. I like that word cleave. I was, how God's word is and how He instructs us. I knew that this was going to be the verse for today, but I did not know those things that were going to happen yesterday that kind of tie into this. That word cleave, that means to abide, to cling to stick to stay with, follow closely. And something that my granddaughter did yesterday made me think of that immediately when I saw that word cleave. And there was several things that happened. She hit the fence with her Jeep. The door in her papa's garage, the wind was pretty rough, and it keeps shaking the door. And when it does, it makes a really loud rattle, and it scares her to death. And several things happened that caused her to be afraid, made her nervous, made her upset, and she ran and she clung to my leg. And so when I was thinking about this word cleave unto the Lord, I was thinking, Lord, I want to grab a hold of your leg just like that Avery did mine. And the minute that she grabbed me, you felt that release of that anxiety that she had. And I patted her on the back, and she looked up at me and she grinned, and she was no longer afraid. And then she went right back to what she was doing. And that's what we need to do. Just wrap our arms around the Lord, cling to him, go to him for comfort, for guidance, for instructions, for forgiveness when we fall and we're diligently out there, and then we diligently end up making falling flat on our face and making mistakes. We need to cleave unto him, seek him, cleave unto him, cling to him, abide with him, stick to him, follow closely. Remember, it's not, Lord, this is what I want, you follow me. No. The Lord's saying, no, this is what he wants, and we are to follow him and follow him closely. Cleave unto the Lord. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you again soon.